James, good result for Liverpool at the weekend with a home win, ending a sequence of draws. You were at the match. What did you make of the game?
Followed a very familiar pattern, really, what we've seen at Anfield so far this season. Liverpool dominant, played some really decent attacking football. The passing and movement was a lot sharper than it was at Fulham in the previous game. Created a lot of chances, but they have got a problem sticking the ball in the back of the net, and we saw that again on Saturday, where there was a few nervy moments in the latter stages when Liverpool should have been out of sight. I mean, it was one-way traffic pretty much from the opening minute. Yet opportunities went begging. Thankfully, obviously, Suarez popped up and headed home the winner early in the second half. But Liverpool should have had a lot more to show for their efforts.
I mean, Suarez is, to all intents and purposes, a real cutting edge, one of the top strikers in the Premiership. But some people have said perhaps he's a scorer of great goals instead of a great goal scorer. I mean, what do you think about that? And what do you think the answer is for Liverpool to be more clinical and put these chances away?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that Suarez he's not a poacher in the mould of a Rush or a Fowler. He's a much more he's a more of a team player, if you like, and he contributes so much in other areas. You saw on Saturday, the times he drifts out wide, and he's always working hard for the team and creates opportunities for others, and his link-up play is absolutely outstanding. So you can never judge Suarez just on his goal return. Yet, there's no doubt that Liverpool do need someone finding the net more regularly, because I think Suarez has got 5. He's the top goal scorer for Liverpool in the league this season. Own goals is second top goal scorer, and that says a lot, really. You've got the likes of Stuart Downing, Dirk Kuyt yet to score in the league, and I think the fact is, if Suarez isn't going to be prolific, then it's absolutely vitally important that you have other players chipping in. And that has been the problem so far this season. There hasn't been other players chipping in, and there has been a lot of responsibility on Suarez's shoulders. I think he will probably go on and score maybe 15, maybe even 20 goals this season. But Liverpool need a few other players breaking into double figures as well.
Would you hope that one of those players perhaps is Andy Carroll?
You'd certainly hope so. I mean, he. It's been a difficult season for Carroll so far. I think he's only started 7 or 8 of the 15 league games. He's been in and out of the side, and when he has played, there's been little flashes of inspiration from him. But by and large, he has struggled. It was no surprise really that he was on the bench on Saturday, considering his efforts against Fulham, Craven Cottage last Monday, when he struggled from start to finish really. He was unused sub on Saturday. And Liverpool do need him to really stake a claim for a starting spot, because it hasn't happened for him so far this season. Yet, he's 22 years old. He's not even been at the club a year yet, so it's it'd be foolish to judge him now. We judge Andy Carroll at the end of the season. I think would be a much fairer way to look upon things. But Liverpool do desperately need Andy Carroll to stick his hand up and force his way into this team and show why Liverpool spent all that money on him.
I'd guess as well that for Kenny Dalglish or Liverpool, perhaps look into the January transfer window, there might be other areas of the team they would prefer to spend a bit of money on, rather than looking for a poacher or a fox in the box. I mean, with Lucas out, perhaps defensive midfield might be an area they would look to put more money to. Would you? What do you think about that? Would you?
Possibly, yeah. I think a defensive midfielder probably would be near the top of the list. If Kenny Dalglish does decide to strengthen in January. Obviously Lucas is a massive miss. Obviously he's got Jay Spearing, who's still got another 2 of his 3-match ban to run. But it's a lot to expect him to carry that role for the rest of the season. Although he has shown he's capable of doing it. I suppose another option would be Steven Gerrard when he comes back. He's so versatile. Yes, you'd want him really pushing further forward to try and contribute, because I think having Gerrard back, and obviously we know he's now back in light training and doing some running, and hoping to play later this month. I think that'll help in terms of the goal return, because he does contribute in that area. Yeah, he's another option that he could play that deeper role if Kenny Dalglish needs him to. In terms of January, I mean, yeah, I've heard people suggest maybe he should go out and buy a striker, but I think maybe that's a bit of a simplistic way to look upon it. I don't think just going out and buying a ruthless finisher from 5 or 6 yards. He's got to be someone who fits into the way Liverpool play and the style, and he's got to be someone who could complement Suarez, because Liverpool are built around Suarez to such a great degree. So it'll be interesting to see what Dalglish does do. I think the important thing is that the players he's got at the moment have to start chipping in more regularly. That's going to be the key to whether Liverpool achieve their target of a top 4 finish this season.
I mean, it seems in the in days gone by, it's almost been like it's building up to an opponent getting a hammer in, almost, when you have lots of games like this, that eventually it will click and suddenly they'll start flying in. A trip to Aston Villa this weekend coming up. I mean, might that be the one where it all clicks? Traditionally a difficult place to go.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of saying it since August. I think you get that feeling that a hammering's just around the corner, because Liverpool are creating so many chances. And again, after Saturday's game, Kenny Dalglish was loath to criticise, because he was right. There wasn't really anything wrong with the performance. For 3/4 of the pitch, Liverpool defended excellently. They were creative in midfield. They got in behind Queen's Park Rangers, yet a finishing touch was lacking. And you'd like to think that if they keep playing in that manner, they will start to go in. And like you said, 2 away trips coming up now. Villa Park on Sunday, Wigan 3 days later. The 2 games before Christmas, and it's vitally important that Liverpool pick up maximum points in those 2 games, because they gained a bit of ground on Tottenham at the weekend. That was important, and they're back in the top 6, back within touching distance of the top 4, and now with such a busy December and January coming up, they really need to push on.